Listen, I'm under the firm belief that this is a shared experience. Our brains work in mysterious and magical ways. And one of those things that our brains do is believe. The second that we check out of a hotel, the wonderful people that work at the hotel, I feel like I'm never going to meet them again. I feel like they don't know me. I don't know them. They're gone, deleted, a remnant of my past. They won't even remember me because apparently that's how it works. If you go on Reddit and you look up all the weird shit that people leave in their hotel rooms after checking out, you're gonna see it's like people don't, including myself, don't realize that you need a government ID to check into a hotel. They know who you are. They know what you've done. They know your address and they know you're freaking nasty. One housekeeper on Reddit said, one young lady stuck her used pad on the wall. The blood acted as the glue and cemented the used pad onto the wall. It fused with the drywall by the time that we came in. One front desk staff said, a raccoon trap. Someone left me a raccoon trap. You know,
what is that?
Giant cages, and then you walk inside the cage, and then all of a sudden the trap door closes, and now you're fucking stuck inside the cage. What were they doing with the raccoon trap inside of a hotel room?
I feel like that's like something you should investigate.
That's a little kinky, okay? Recently in China, though, something else was trapped, okay? A WeChat text thread goes viral because of something that was left inside of a hotel room. And he's the one that told me this. He brought this part to my attention and he did not know the iceberg that's underneath this, okay? So the text thread in question is a group chat filled with 39 people, a giant group chat. And one of the girls is there and she texts into the group, which one of you was the last to leave the hotel room? Reply ASAP or I'm leaking the photos. Most of the 39 people in the group chat, they just kind of ignore her because it wasn't them. So who cares if she leaks the photos or not? There's no photos to be leaked about them. Honestly, what could even be in the photos? So whoever this girly pop is, she's not around. She stays true to her promise and she leaks the evidence onto social media. And the evidence in question, because you're like, why would this random ass group chat go viral, is information that one of the 39 people, one of the people in this group chat, the last one to leave the hotel room, had left a personal belonging behind for the hotel staff to deal with. It was a part of them that they left behind in the hotel. Something that had once been a part of their body, they detached it and left it for the hotel housekeeper. A steaming hot pile of shit inside of the bathtub. Someone took a shit inside the bathtub and then left the hotel. They checked out of the hotel. How can you look the front desk in the eye when you give them your key card when you know full well deep in your soul that you have left a pile of shit in the bathtub? Within days, this release screenshot goes viral and everyone in China...
It was screenshot of the conversation.
Yeah, of the group chat.
It's not the photo of the poop.
No, I don't think we have a photo of the poop, okay? And everyone in China wants to freaking know who. Just tell us who was the last one to leave the hotel room. Who left the shit? That's what China was on about, okay? I just want to say that. But I know there's so many other questions too, though, because like,
honestly,
why?
I think it's this person who left the shit is probably the most shocking part because... No? You don't think so?
So there's so many questions. Like, why is there a group chat with 39 people? Why were they all at this hotel together? What were they doing? Why is there shit in the bathroom? What's going on? This group chat is one of the biggest chess competition tournaments in China. Everyone in that group chat, minus a few organizers, like all 30 something people, are chess champions. A lot of them nationally recognized, some of them globally recognized, or at least well known about chess champion.
Chinese chess.
You cannot attend this chess championship unless you are one of the top rated Chinese chess players. You're not invited.
Still a big deal, Chinese chess, because
huge deal.
We got like billions of people, so it's like one in a billion, you know.
And then people like globally, they play Chinese. We play Chinese chess. I like Chinese chess more than regular chess.
Yeah.
It's more fast.
It's faster.
Yeah. Now, these people, they live, breathe, do everything revolving around chess. And one of them just took a shart in the bathtub and left it. So what the fork is going on? Before we get into that though, I do want to say, let me just grab myself a drink. I don't know about you, but my digestion sometimes sucks. And I read the other day that hot girls have stomach issues. And so I was like, oh my God, are you calling me hot? And then I realized, no, I just have stomach issues and that is not something to brag about, okay? I have been trying to improve my gut health for a long time. I think it's a never-ending journey. I think gut health is a maintenance journey as well. And I just know that kombucha is really good for my gut health. I've done my little research, my personal research. I'm not a medical professional. I realized something. When you go to Korea, nobody really drinks kombucha out the glass bottle. And I'm like, that's crazy because Koreans are obsessed with their digestive system. They're obsessed with kimchi. They're obsessed with like fermented foods. Everybody drinks kombucha in packages. And I was like, what? That doesn't even make sense. And my mom was like, you're doing it weird if you're not doing it like this. I was not a daily kombucha girly until Everyday's released their kombuchas. I have been obsessed with Everyday's for years. Their konjac jelly. My mom is obsessed with this konjac jelly. I'm obsessed with this konjac jelly. But the same goes for their kombucha. Listen, they have so many flavors. I know you see the packaging.
BT21.
I know you see the packaging. This one is the green grape, pineapple passion fruit, grapefruit black tea, lemon ginger. Okay, this one's the peach. This is my second favorite. Everyday's does their peach. It's so good. And then this one's a strawberry kiwi. This one is my absolute favorite. The way it works is you open it up, and this is perfect for traveling because you know how vacation girlies can't poop? Now you can. They come in these cute little travel size, travel friendly, airport friendly.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm doing it the wrong way because I'm so focused on telling you about it.
You rip this and then you throw it in there. Sometimes I mix it with regular water like today. Sometimes I mix it with sparkling water. Sparkling water is really good too. I just don't have any because I've drinking like so many of these in the past week. But you just mix it up like this. And if you see any colorful sediments in your glass, that's perfectly normal. And it's because Everyday's uses natural ingredients for coloring. So they add hibiscus to add redness, black tea for brown colors, vitamin B for yellow. And Everyday's is very responsible when it comes to their ingredients. Their formulas are vegan with no added sugar, non-alcoholic, and less than 21 calories per serving, which is kind of crazy because kombucha is not known to be a lower calorie drink. And obviously it's full of pre and probiotics to improve your gut health. I've been less bloated ever since I started doing that in the mornings, which side note, a lot of Koreans be drinking kombucha in the morning. So if you want to improve your gut health and you're looking for kombucha that actually tastes good, is convenient, and you don't have to worry about shattering a glass bottle,
It's so good.
I recommend Everyday's, which you can purchase on Amazon, or you can click the link in my description.
You know what this would be really good with? Soju. Which I feel like I shouldn't promote, but I feel like it could hit.
The poop mystery is solved within a day or two because, like I said, we have the shared experience of once we check out of a hotel room, I don't know what the fork is going on in there, but I'm out of here. That's not how it works. The room with the pile of in the bathtub is very quickly identified to be that of Yang Chenglong's.
Yang.
What? I mean, he's truly only the champion of that year's Chinese chess tournament title. That year's. Sorry. Got a new set of aligners in my mouth be changing shape every day I wake up, and the inside of my mouth, if you x-rayed it, is different. Also, they shaved the back of my teeth. Did you know that? They shaved the back of my teeth. My orthodontist took a piece of me, like this man's okay, shaved the back of my teeth, and now I got all this extra real estate. My tongue doesn't know what to do. I got all this extra real estate in my mouth. No, he is legitimately the champion of that yours Chinese chess tournament. The king of Chinese chess is his title, his literal title. You win the title of king of Chinese chess. The king has sharded in the bathtub.
As he should.
No.
Like, that's some king shit.
No. But he looks not like a bathtub shitter. No. Look at this man holding his certificate. That looks like your dad. Would your dad shit in a bathtub?
Yeah.
Oh, that is not the response I was expecting.
Oh, no. Okay, hold on. Redo. Who's new?
Would your dad shit in a bathtub?
No.
Okay. Not the response I was expecting. So I don't know. And your dad, I'm not gonna go there. This man has been playing chess since 1992. How many of you guys were, he was, because he's fucking old, were alive in 1992? Not me,
Your
not
dad.
I. Your dad.
Your dad is.
Okay, I don't even know what the air was like in 1992 because I'm so young. Now, after it's uncovered that Yang is making pit stops to the shit stop in the bathtub, he is stripped of his title and his prize money, which I believe was like $14,000. He's publicly humiliated and accused of disturbing public order. The story goes viral and everybody wants to know, sir, Mr. Yang, why the hell did you in the bathtub? It's also, they said it's adult-sized, very smelly, a little wet. Should probably get it checked out, okay? And it belongs to the king of Chinese chess. Now, nobody knows this. This is the $14,000 question, if you will. Young, smart man, does not try to deny the poop in the bathroom.
Why 14,000?
Because he lost his prize money of $14,000 because of the scandal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
This is his story. Gotta lube up for this.
Bub.
Do you know that yapping causes dry lips? I sacrifice a lot to be a yapper. It takes a physical toll on my body. Now, this is his story. I won the tournament, and I thought I could celebrate by drinking with my friends in the hotel room. But I guess I got a little bit too excited. I got lost in the sauce. He didn't say that, I'm saying that. But he states he lost track of how many drinks he's had until his stomach starts cramping. And he's thinking the alcohol, it's gonna give me
explosive diarrhea.
I can feel it. He's literally gonna be a party pooper. He ends the party early. He rushes his friends out. He said, go fucking play Chinese chess in your own rooms. He spends the entirety of his victory night holding onto both sides of the wall and squirming on the toilet. There's echoes. There's dynamite. There's BTS. Because dynamite. Da, da, da. Okay. He's releasing his, I think it's subliminal messaging. I'm like, they're on my mind. And Jin is out. And he's so sweet. He was hugging all of the female army fans. And he wore this giant board on his chest that says, I love you. Because in Korean culture, like hugs are very intimate because, you know, girls have their chest that they don't want to put on strangers. And so he was wearing this like giant board on his chest so that girls would feel comfortable hugging him.
That's what I'm gonna do with you.
Anyway, the king of Chinese chess is releasing his inner demons. And every time he thinks, wow, that's good now, okay? He will walk back to the living area of the hotel room and the feeling hits again.
He's gotta go.
There's no time. He's holding his butt cheeks, clamping them, squeezing them together, running back to the toilet. But at one point, he's showering. He's like, I gotta get away from these nasty smells. You know, when it just like follows you? His butthole is about to rip like Velcro. The toilet is allegedly 10 feet away, over 10 feet away.
10 feet away?
Yeah.
That's pretty close.
Oh, that's...
Like, I'm 8 feet. It's really close. What do you... Like, he couldn't make it to the toilet?
Yes, he says there's no way he can make it that far. That's why he sharts in the tub. That is what Young is saying, okay? But the reporters are still scratching their heads because it makes sense until you start thinking about what he just said. And then it doesn't make sense. First of all, netizens, they're all in the comments. I'm an architect, trust me. I've designed buildings on Minecraft for 10 years. Trust me, bro. I graduated from Tsinghua Architect School, bro. Why the fork is the hotel bathroom so big? They said there's no way in a hotel the toilet is 10 feet away from the shower. What are you, in the fucking presidential suite? They're saying it doesn't make sense. But then some netizens said actually Chinese hotels are known for having very irregular bathroom shapes to maximize space. So okay, fine. Checkmate, Young. Check fucking mate. But why did you leave the in the bathtub? Why couldn't you sprinkle it down?
Because they're stuck.
He did say that. He's getting a little nervous now at this point in the interview. He's jumbling his words up. He's shifting side to side like he's very uncomfortable. We don't really have direct quotes, but he said something along the lines of, I'm just a village boy. Okay, I tried to clean it. I tried to clean the poop, but it already was time to leave, time to check out. So I left. None of this makes sense. How do you just knowingly leave poop? Why don't you call the cleaning staff? Why don't you call the front desk and say, hey, you know what? Can I get a few more minutes? I got something coming down the pipeline I gotta take care of. Yang does not clarify any further. So like any good mystery, netizens start coming up with their own theories, ranging from a poop kink to losing a bet to severe IBS. irritable bowel syndrome. But then something very strange happens. Netizens decide to agree on the same theory. They said 2 words: anal beads.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing, bada beads. Okay.
Bada bing, bada beads.
He stuck intimate fun time devices, beads, like edamame, up his butt. Well, they're huge. Well, they come in different sizes. And now he needs to get it out of his body. You don't flush that down the toilet. They're not cheap, and it's going to clog. His body's not going to absorb it either. So it's like, you got to release the dam. He goes over the bathtub thinking, I'm just going to take out the beads, allegedly. But then boom, releases the dam, release the kraken, the flowing, okay? Other stuff starts coming up. That's what happened. End of story, mystery solved. That's what Chinese netizens said. We're done here. I'm like, what do you mean mystery solved? Mystery not freaking solved. Mystery thicker. Why would this man have anal beads in his bum? Like, one netizen commented, he's 50. He should have known better. The anal sphincter is not what it used to be. What do you mean? You can't just... What? Another one wrote, there's sting, and then there's this. I mean, fine, great comments. I chuckled, but why? I need answers. The answer is that some people like to play chess with stuff shoved up their butts. It's very, very frowned upon in the chess community. And there's a reason for it, by the way. It's not like the chess community just has a stick up their ass, or rather, they don't have a stick up their ass, okay? But there are reasons for this. And just to get the story straight, they're not plugs. Very different. Beads. That's what the chess community is all about.
We want to know?
Yeah.
What's better?
Are you asking me or in the comments?
In the comments.
Oh, okay. Because plugs and beads are very different experiences. So you just need to make that distinction very loud and clear. Now, why does the chess community, why would they get up in arms about some beads? About a year before this incident, before the poopy bathtub in China, there was a very big incident at one of the biggest regular chess tournaments in the whole world, in the US, Miami. Suddenly, at the front door, middle of the tournament. So like, they had a few days of chess playing, and I don't know what chess players do, okay? And then all of a sudden, in the middle of the tournament, they have military grade scanners set up at the door. It's like a TSA check. Every single person walking in has to be scanned. Not just their bags or belongings, which is pretty normal in an organized event, but their bodies have to be scanned. They're getting randomly searched, strip searched almost. Why? Why would you need that at a chess tournament? Okay, that doesn't make sense. They're looking for anal beads. I'm going to get there.
Bad boys.
This is more unhinged than poopy bathtubs. It involves $100 million, anal training, and a chess player named Magnus Carlsen. Do you know Magnus Carlsen? Even I've heard of Magnus Carlsen. Magnus is the highest ranked chess player in history. Not right now, not during his career span, in history of chess. This is not an opinion, but a fact. He is literally the greatest of all time. Because in history, he's like the highest ranked. The chess community said the ability he has to stay calm under stress is insane. Other grandmasters, so in chess, you become a grandmaster. That means you're like a master shifu. You like that? Okay. And it's stated that if a grandmaster, there's 2 grandmasters playing. If I start attacking your pieces 10 times in a row, that's usually like the magic limit. Every person, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing chess, it doesn't matter if you're a chess prodigy, you will start to feel the heat. The psychological stress will show, and it will impact your next moves. And some people will be impacted more or less than other people. Magnus, they said, is the only person you could be attacking all of his pieces 15 moves in a row, no defense moves, only offense. He will not be worn down. He will psychologically be even more chill. There was actually, this is crazy. Okay, so this is all traits that grandmasters have. You cannot crack under pressure or stress. So it's not like me. Like, Magnus Carlsen is less impacted by stress in a group of people already not impacted by stress.
Right.
So this is crazy. Apparently there was a tournament where the grandmasters were wearing heart rate monitors while playing chess. It's like our videos, but like just like so much more cultured. Okay, Magnus apparently had one of the lowest resting heart rates. People are like, is this man dead? Yeah, it was crazy.
He's asleep.
He's asleep. Nothing bothered him. Nothing. He's apparently a 5-time world chess champion. He has won 16 world championship titles, which is more than almost any other player in the history of chess. He is quite literally the GOAT. When he was 13, he went up against a world champion, like the GOAT of chess. There's so much respect on his name, Kasparov, and he... Incredible man, right? Formerly the best chess player in history before he played against 13-year-old Magnus. Watching this game is crazy. You see this full-grown 40-year-old man struggling on his end of the chessboard. His face is scrunching up. At one point, he puts his head in both of his hands and he's like trying to rip out his hair. He's about to let out a fucking shart with how much he's focusing. He's breaking a sweat. Meanwhile, 13-year-old Magnus is acting like a 13-year-old. He cannot sit still. He's getting so bored out of his freaking mind. He gets up and starts walking around and looking at everybody else's chessboards and then looking to see if he's still not made a move and then goes back to looking around at other people's chessboards. You know what it's giving? It's giving,
I'm gonna go play outside. Can you tell me when you're done?
that's what it's giving. That's what it's giving. He ends up landing a draw. Did you know this? There's 3 ways in a chess game. There's a win, there's a draw, and there's a lose, okay?
Whoa.
A draw is a tie, right?
Right.
But when you go up against someone like Magnus Carlsen, there's different ways to play. You don't always play to win.
Oh yeah, you play to draw.
You play defense, only defense. You don't do any offense because you know you can't outbeat this guy. So you just defend until he's out of moves because you've been defending so much. And then you guys are like, this could go on for 25 freaking years and I'm just going to keep defending and then nothing's going to happen. So then you draw. It's like a tie. It doesn't count.
Yeah. Okay, so but they got a draw, right?
Which is crazy. It's crazy. At 13? Okay, so all chess players have to have really good memory because apparently chess, a lot of the game is about memory. It's like math. They have to memorize all the probabilities of moves and like...
Skirt.
I've never played chess like that. It's crazy. They have to remember what kind of moves they're... Not only, did you know when people go into a chess tournament, they be studying chess games that their opponent has played?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, that...
You didn't watch Queen's Gambit?
I think you just go and you just have a good time.
You just be like, okay, today I'm gonna move this one.
And I'm just like, okay, let me go do this one. Ooh, this one's kind of cute. And then you'd be looking around and you're like, where's Anya Taylor-Joy? I'm gonna leave if she doesn't show up. But no, they study. It's a lot of studying. There's a lot that you have to remember and you have to do it without error. But Magnus is insane. There's one video where he plays 10 really good chess players all at the same time. He's sitting there in front of 10 different people, 10 separate boards, 320 pieces, and he's playing all of them at once with his chair facing the other way. He's not even looking at the 10 chessboards. His chair is turned around facing the other way. He doesn't even get to touch a single piece on any of the boards. They just call out to him which move they made one by one. So board number 1 is like, I moved my pawn that way. I know, I'm a pro. And then he has to sit there and go, okay, move my knight this way. So he has to remember not only where the empty spaces are, but where their pieces are and where his pieces are 10 different times.
So it's like Queen's Gambit. Like she's playing
in her mind.
In the mind. But 10 of them.
10 of them at the same time.
Damn.
Yeah.
How is that possible?
I mean, the probability... It's infinite. The number of possible moves is literally infinite. And he ends up winning. Can you guess how many?
All of them.
All of them. All 10 boards. He even beat a super grandmaster in just a single minute of chess.
Okay. Super grandmaster?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
They're actually like... They're grandmasters, but they're super good. Okay? In another game, he took 18 seconds to destroy a chess master in a game. 18 seconds. I don't even think I can toot in 18 seconds. I gotta concentrate to make sure it's silent. He played against Bill Gates, which I don't know what that means because I don't think Bill Gates is a chess player.
And guess what? He lost. He's smart.
And that's good. And did 9 moves. He destroyed Bill Gates, wrecked him, took 8 the rich too seriously.
I would have lost.
You would have lost to Bill Gates?
I would have lost, yeah.
So he eats Bill Gates for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. His brain is like a supercomputer. I'm not even exaggerating. His IQ is 190. I don't know what that means. It's like above my IQ to comprehend
Is that
an
possible?
IQ like
190?
that. That's what I'm saying.
You max out at like, I don't know.
Like 100. I'm just kidding. Okay. Magnus says he remembers over 10,000 different chess games, not moves, chess full games from start to finish. There's one interview where he's sitting there with a chessboard and it looks frozen. It looks like it was in the middle of a game. Certain pieces are moved over. There's pieces that have been eaten, scattered about. And he looks at it, takes one look, focuses, and he goes, oh yeah. Okay, this looks awful like Mikhail Tal and Mikhail Matvinik. He's like the game between these two chess players.
Wow.
He just casually remembers exactly which game in the entire history of chess just by looking at the board. And then he's not done. He focuses a little bit harder and he goes, oh, I think the next move they made here was queen to d5 and then rook to a6.
I feel like, does he have like a crazy memory
He's
thing?
gotta.
Like that just doesn't even
Makes sense. How do some people have so much more CPU and storage space up there?
That's what I'm saying.
Because I feel like every day I have to delete photos and stuff out of here to make space. And then it just be overheating.
I don't even remember what I ate earlier.
Not only does Magnus remember almost all the top games ever, he's also playing 2 games on the chessboard. He plays the game of chess and then he be playing mind games. Pacing. This is what he does. Every chess player has an allotted amount of time in a game. It can depend, right? And once your timer starts, once the other person has made their move, your timer starts.
Yeah.
And then you got to click your button, right?
And then their time goes to their time, yeah.
Well, Magnus is known for being late on his time.
Oh yeah, I've seen those clips.
He'll come in late. He'll sit down, and most people want to maximize every second of their time. Not Magnus. He sits down, takes off his jacket, fixes his little collars, and then he takes sips of water, and then he looks, and then he makes his move and then taps. And then in the middle of the game, while you're stressing so hard and you're playing to draw, you're not even playing to win, he'll just get up and start walking around, stretching his legs like he's in a fucking airplane. Okay, just going up and down the aisle, stretching his legs. Which, by the way, he makes a lot of money, okay? Most people feel like you don't make a lot of money playing chess, and most people don't. I don't even think a lot of good people know how to like pay their bills playing chess because it's not really the most lucrative sport. To give you an idea, the Champions Chess Tour in 2023 had a prize pool of $1.3 million. But there's 500 contestants, and most of those 500 don't win anything.
Yeah. Only the best.
Exactly. And then across the board winners maybe get like $10,000 each. Magnus be earning $1.5 million every year by the time he turns 19. His current estimated worth is about $25 million net worth, but that's not verified. And I feel like it's got to be a lot more because think about it. He makes millions from playing chess, but he also has his own business that makes a ton of money. He owns a company called Play Magnus Group. Imagine this. Imagine you're so good at something that people will pay for advertisement on a website where they play a computer version of you. It's basically a platform where you can play a chess bot that plays like Magnus. So you feel like you're playing Magnus. The company came close to $10 million in revenue. That's from like 2 years ago. Recently, they just merged with chess.com, which is the biggest online chess platform in the world. It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So I feel like the payout on that was massive. Anyway, that's not the drama. In September 2022, a year before Chinese bathtub poop, Magnus flies to St. Louis and he's ready to make his competition sweat their balls out. He gets to the tournament and good news, it's going to be even easier than he thought. Magnus's opponent can't make it to the tournament because of a visa issue. Yeah, I know. So Magnus is going to play against a replacement, some guy who isn't even mentally ready to play the day because so much of chess is you got to study your opponent. And if you weren't ready to play and you didn't know who your opponent was going to be because you're filling in as a replacement, it's very hard. Which actually, now that I think about it, I feel like Magnus would actually be disappointed by that. I feel like he's the type that's like, no, I want to challenge myself. Anyway, the replacement is this little 19-year-old named Hans Niemann. And he looks, honestly, I feel like the prerequisite to being good at chess is having a really cool name. But Hans looks exactly how you would imagine a Hans to look.
I don't know what to look.
He looks like this.
Oh.
Not you looking at the empty space. He looks like a Hans, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Damn. Anyway, That's exactly what guess how old he is? I told you.
19.
Yes. He's a
How
lot.
old is Magnus?
33 at this point.
Oh.
But that doesn't mean anything. They actually say the older you get, it's harder because chess is a lot about stamina. It's like a sport.
But you say, like even Magnus, when he was 13, he was killing it, right?
Exactly. Oh,
Yeah.
most proteges are around 13.
Most protege?
Chess proteges.
Okay.
Like a prodigy. You cannot be a prodigy unless you're like 13 and a grandmaster.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay.
Yeah. So Magnus be 33, okay? Which, side note, Hans is not some random chess enthusiast. He is also a grandmaster, which means he has a high chess ranking. They call it an ELO. He is higher than most chess players, but hundreds of points below Magnus. Hans is also the lowest ranking chess player at this tournament. He's basically the worst of the best here, which is so cool, don't get me wrong, but also would probably keep me up at night. Now, to give you an idea of this match before we get into it, it's like if a freshman professional runner is trying to race against Usain Bolt. It doesn't matter that he's a professional and can outrun me, you, everybody in his sleep. He's still gonna look slow compared to the Usain Bolt. But Hans and Magnus, they sit down to play. And in the first couple of minutes, nothing happens. I was watching it. It was so weird. It's like the world's most awkward date. They're just sitting across, glancing at each other, looking stressed, not talking, nothing. And the whole thing is weird because you would expect Magnus. Magnus is quick. I feel like he really only takes time to think when he needs to. Otherwise, he's just like be tapping his little button nonstop. He'd be looking around, he'd be pacing. But no, he's stressing and he's playing white. In every chess game, white pieces always play first, which gives you a massive advantage of making the first move. And Magnus opens the game. I just want to say this man has only ever been beaten playing white a handful of times. The advantage he has on Hans.
But he still lost? He has lost before?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were saying that all of Magnus's losses was no longer a question of if he's good or not good. It was a question of stamina. Typically, sometimes, usually is what happens.
Got it.
Yeah. So there's another thing about Magnus Carlsen. Every chess player is known for a very particular style. That's why you study your opponent. Are they more aggressive? When do they start getting aggressive at the game? How do they like to open the board? Because once they open the board, you're looking for ways to play against that, right? Like the probabilities, you're running all of that. You got to come up with the first sequence of moves. Magnus plays an opening that he's only ever played a few times before. This is not his typical opening. So that could mean that he's so confident right now that he's literally f***ing around. But this is so important for later. Now, imagine you're at the Olympics and you're so confident. You're like, I know this works. I know what got me gold last time and the time before that. But this time I'm so bored, I'm going to try something else. That's basically what he be doing. That's crazy. He's like, instead of going off when the gun goes off and running to the destination, I'm just going to get on all fours and shake my ass real quick and see where that gets me. That's like what he's doing right now. The commentators are watching the game and they're anticipating that Hans is going to play to draw because you can, like I said, play to win or play to draw. Hans does not play to draw. Hans is playing to win. Instead of playing defensively, he's using an aggressive playing style. And by the middle of the match, you can see Magnus looking genuinely concerned. He would usually, by this point, get up and pace. None of that. Magnus is sweating balls. He's taking tens of minutes in between moves.
Wow.
This is weird. He's literally burning his timer. Meanwhile, Hans takes a sip of his water, takes his eyes off the board, zones out a couple of times. He looks like he's in math class. He looks like he's genuinely so bored. At one point, there's a few pieces.
Way.
Yes, Hans makes one last move. Magnus reaches out over the board, and instead of moving one of his pieces, he extends his hand to shake with Hans.
No.
He surrenders.
Lost.
He surrendered. I watched the whole 27-minute analysis of this game where real chess players analyze every single move. So let me explain. Basically, Magnus is down to his king and bishop. And according to chess analysts, there is no way Magnus could have made any moves to win that game, just probability-wise. The best he could do is try to draw. But instead, he surrenders, basically automatically losing because the ability to draw was still there. Everyone's kind of confused.
Oh, so he could have drawn.
Yeah.
But he just gave up.
And not only, because he never does that.
He never give up?
No, he's not really a giver-upper. Not only does Magnus just lose to someone way below his rank that he isn't even supposed to play in the first case, but Magnus has only ever lost to 19 players while playing white in a professional game in his entire career. Now 20.
Now make it 20.
Yeah. So why the fork are we talking about this? This is not a chess channel. Why is everybody talking about this? Okay? It's because afterwards, Magnus goes onto Twitter to share his thoughts and feelings about his loss out of 53 wins. He lost his winning streak. He has 1 million followers on Twitter, by the way. His Twitter bio is very, very humble. It says, world chess champion, the highest ranked chess player in the world. So, yeah. He usually uses Twitter to share photos of himself holding trophies, just traveling around Europe winning tournaments. But today, he posts a formal announcement. He writes, I've withdrawn from the tournament. I've always enjoyed playing in the STL chess club and hope to be back in the future. Okay. Why would you withdraw from the tournament just because you lost a game? That's like a sore loser. And Magnus is not really a sore loser. Like, this doesn't make any sense. Why would he withdraw from one of the biggest tournaments in the US? And even if he has lost, like, I don't understand. Something's not right. What is going on, right? Now, he literally tells us. Magnus then posts a meme after this. And this is a very unserious, a meme of this man where he says, I prefer really not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big, big trouble.
A meme.
A
photo.
It's like a video.
A video.
Yeah, and he's like, I prefer not to speak. If I speak, I'm in big, big trouble. And I
he
don't want
that.
Yeah, and he said, and I don't want to be in big trouble.
If I speak, I am in big trouble.
Okay.
Netizens go crazy when they read this post. What does it mean? Why would he withdraw? What can he not say? What do you mean big trouble? Why? Netizens start to speculate that Magnus is hinting that Hans Niemann has cheated because why else would he withdraw? It almost seems like he's making a statement. But how do you even cheat in chess? How? Beats me. People.
Beats me. Ain't no beats me.
Now, people usually use computer programs called a chess engine. I'm going to make this sound really stupid, but a chess engine is like a computer brain that can look at a chessboard and tell you the next optimal move. For reference, Magnus Carlsen has an ELO of 2,882, which is like the official chess ranking system. Honestly, I don't know what it means, but it's the highest ELO ever recorded in chess. But the average chess engine has an ELO of 3,400.
What?
No human player has ever beaten a modern chess engine like Stockfish. It's literally impossible. But to use a chess engine, you need to have access to
What's
a computer.
Stockfish?
That's a company that has a chess engine, Stockfish.
Oh, okay.
Now, in order to have a chess engine, you need to have access to a computer or at least a phone, which is obviously not allowed on a professional chess game. You can have someone helping you, but the odds of you getting caught are crazy and you're going to be severely penalized. But a day after Magnus withdraws, the other chess players in the tournament notice something very strange is happening. The next day when they show up, military grade scanners at the door. Okay. What was the reason? And it seems like the security officials are spending a lot of time on people's butts. Just be scanning up and down the butts.
Spread them cheeks.
Yeah, what is going on right now? So now it's solidifying. It looks very suspicious. A lot of Twitch streamers start openly accusing Hans of cheating, which, side note, chess is actually very popular on Twitch.
Okay.
Now, obviously, this is just speculation. There is no evidence that Hans cheated when he played Magnus other than a meme that Magnus posted. Honestly, I feel like it would have just ended there if Hans just took the W, took a hike, but then like we wouldn't be here because he was born to be a yapper. That is something that I can relate to. It's not our fault, Hans. It's really not. We can't just zip it, lock it, put it in our pocket for some reason. We can't. And a day after the tournament, Hans does an official interview with the Sinkfield Cup hosts. And Hans is absolutely determined to prove that he beat Magnus fair and square. He shows up to the interview looking determined. He's got his arms crossed. He's wearing an all black suit. He's frowning. He looks like he's trying really hard to look very serious, but it's so fucking unserious right now. I cannot take this guy seriously. Also, the fact that he's wearing a zip up hood underneath a blazer is sending me into a different dimension in which I am a chess grandmaster. The interviewer starts with probably the shittiest question ever. He's basically like, hey, you've been fucking losing nonstop and you finally got a win. Like, how do you feel?
Whoa.
Yeah, it was a lot. And Hans be a little bit stressed out about this. Now, to be fair, I will say that Hans has been known to be a shit talker even before this. Like, he's really crazy. They said that he is Conor McGregor of the chess world. And like, when you say it like that, he's actually not crazy at all. He's really tame. But in the chess world, it's crazy. Like,
what did he say?
No, he'd just be smirking. And then he'd just be like, chess speaks for itself. Like, he'd just be like... like, he can't help the smirk. It'd just be coming up. They'd be like, you beat Magnus, and he... That's how he...
What?
Like, he can't stop the smirk.
What do you mean?
Yeah, and so he's talking about all these interviews. He's talking about how he beat Magnus because everyone wants to talk to Hans now. And he says, now this is very interesting. He said, and I quote, I studied Magnus, all of his chess games and his interviews, and he said that if he spends more than 10 minutes on a game, it's a very bad sign. Magnus did that a lot in our game.
What the fuck? Are you okay?
So that
He did exactly that.
pretty much. So that boosted my confidence. He starts going.
He's licking his lip and everything.
Yes.
He go, "Muhahaha."
He starts going into detail about his game with Magnus, and the interviewer is showing a simulation of their match on a virtual chessboard. And every couple minutes, Hans would ask the interviewer to pause. He'd say, "Pause the board." He smirks and go, "Let's go back. I want to enjoy it." Netizens comment that Hans is just very unlikable in this interview. On one hand, it makes sense. He's 19 and known to talk shit, and he just beat Magnus Carlsen. Of course, he's going to be a little excited. But on the other hand, he does come off pretty arrogant. He's kind of unlikable. But anyway, the interviewer tells Han, I think we should address the elephant in the room.
Really?
Hans is more than ready to face the elephant. He's ready to be humble and professional and not at all aggressive. He clears his throat. First of all, people are idiots. The explanation that I'm about to give you is going to make all of you top gems look like idiots. This is going to be embarrassing, okay? I'm sorry if I'm just coming off hostile. This is just a passion of mine. Let's pull up the board. The interviewer pulls up the chessboard again, and Hans starts going through every single move that he played against Magnus and why. And he's talking faster and faster, and he's getting really passionate about it. Now, I'm just analyzing his body language and like looking at the way that he's talking. I mean, he's becoming very vocal. And at one point he even says, it's not a miracle. It's just me being very tedious about going through all the moves he could have played in my head. And I think that's the main thing. And then he trails off. And then the interviewer, he just keeps going on these rants, right? Now, I watched another chess player, Gotham Chess, break it down on the Lex Friedman podcast, and he said that a lot of chess players were skeptical of the way that Hans described his moves, because typically when you beat someone like Magnus Carlsen, you'll go on these chess interviews and you'll talk through your moves, and it's very done in a sequential manner, meaning you talk about which piece you move to which position and the thoughts going through your mind when you made that decision, and then the next move that they had, like everything is, there's a pattern to it. And they said that Hans was describing chess in a way that nobody that plays chess well describes chess.
Nobody plays chess well describe chess.
It felt weird.
It's just that like the logic is not there. Maybe it
Yeah,
just doesn't feel like a trace of.
Yes, like he wasn't really describing his train of thought very clearly. Like it's a very big overall picture. He's like, of course I studied, right? But then it's not like, oh, at this moment, because usually there's key moments you remember and you're like, at this specific moment, I took the opportunity because I saw and I realized that he had made this pawn vulnerable and da-da-da-da-da-da.
But instead, it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Allegedly, I don't know if he cheated because there's evidence that maybe I don't know. Now, anyway, at one point, around half the interview, Hans asks, is that everything? Did I cover the main points? And the interviewer goes, it's up to you. No, because... And he starts going at it again, and he starts using his hands. And without any prompting, in any way or shape or form, Hans starts readdressing the cheating rumors, and he says, I did cheat when I was 12 years old.
Okay. But have they talked about the elephant yet?
Yeah, and he was just like, I just studied. He also said something.
Wait, what do you mean? I thought the elephant is...
anal beads?
Yeah, did they talk about that or no?
But they will in a different interview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, also here's another thing. He said that right before the game, he happened to study a Magnus Carlsen game where Magnus did that exact opening that he did to Hans. People were sussed about that because he's only ever done that like once or twice. before this. And they were not like big games that everyone was like, that was a fucking memorable game. What are the odds?
Right. Okay.
Anyway, he said, when I was 12 years old, I was with a friend and I was playing an online chess game. My friend had an iPad with a chess engine and he started telling me moves. I was a child. I had no idea what happened. This happened once in an online tournament. I was just a child. Nothing happened then. Let me remind you, he's saying this unprompted. Nobody asked, why is he telling us this? And like in the entire 45-minute interview, both interviews combined, the interviewer spoke for less than 2 minutes.
How long was the interview?
45 minutes.
He talked for 43 minutes?
Yes. Certified yapper. And he keeps going. He says, 4 years later, when I was 16 during my streaming career, in an absolutely ridiculous mistake, in an unrated game, I have never in my life cheated in an over-the-board game or an online tournament. They were unrated games. I'm admitting this and saying my truth because I do not want misrepresentation. I am proud of myself for learning from that mistake. I've sacrificed everything for chess.
Okay, no, I'm not saying he cheated. Like, I'm not. I don't know. I don't know chess.
Yeah.
But you know, like sometimes when you're a kid, when you lie, you know, you're like, I did not eat those candies. However, I did eat it before though.
Yes.
You know, I didn't eat it one time, but I didn't do it this time. You know what I mean?
Yes. Wait, stop.
And then it's like unprompted. Like I didn't ask about it before.
That's so
I'm
true.
asking, did you eat this one? You're like, no. But like I did it before, but I didn't do it this time.
Because I guess it's supposed to show transparency.
Yeah, it's like you're being honest, right? Yeah. No, I'm saying this because I did that, not because he did that. Yeah.
Yeah. He said that was the single biggest mistake of my life and I'm completely ashamed. Which, yeah, it was like a whole thing. Okay. Now, right after Magnus withdrew from the cup, Hans gets banned from chess.com, which is like the biggest chess website. They pretty much are like the organization behind chess. And he's no longer allowed to use the website. But that's not the only problem. Chess.com is probably one of the biggest sponsors of basically every big chess tournament in the world. So if they've got beef with Hans, that could threaten his entire career.
They banned him for what reasons, though?
He admitted to cheating on chess.com once.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, then.
Yeah, Hans tells the interviewer, like, unfortunately, there's been a targeted attack. And now he's still going on 8 minutes straight yapping, okay? Now, in case you're wondering, no one is asking him to address this, but he specifically says, after the game, Magnus puts out a tweet. Obviously, some insinuations. I get an email from chess.com saying that they privately removed access to my account, and now they have uninvited me from the global chess game. Now, 3 days ago, I met with someone very high up at chess.com at the Sinkfield Cup, and he had some amazing words. But because of this game against Magnus, because of what he said, they have decided to completely remove me from the website. There's a lot going on right now. He's like accusing Magnus. He's accusing, well, I feel like Magnus be semi-accusing him. Now he's accusing Magnus and chess.com, which, side note, chess.com, remember, bought Magnus's company, paid him a merger of over $80 million.
Damn.
Yeah, so like, it's a lot. He goes a little unhinged at this point and he says, I give everything to chess. I work so hard. Chess is my entire life. I live out of a suitcase. I train 12 hours a day. I played over 200 tournaments in a year. Yeah. So, I mean, honestly, if he didn't cheat, I have so much sympathy for the guy. He's just getting persecuted out here. But he says the entire social media chess world is attacking me, and maybe they think I have to be afraid, or I would be afraid to tell the entire world that I cheated at some random games, but I'm not afraid because I know who I am. So I will not be manipulated and conspired against to try and ruin my chess career when I know what happened.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there's two sides to this. One group of people who are saying Hans was just a little nervous. He's just a boy. He didn't cheat. He's really good at chess. He does seem really good at chess. Another group of people think Hans is lying to cover up the fact that he cheated. But don't take your nipple clamps off, okay? Because Hans and Magnus are going to play each other again.
Oh, really?
2 weeks after this whole drama unfolds, there is an online tournament this time. So not over the board, it's not face to face, but it's still a professional game. There's 2 mediators, there's a whole audience watching this, a whole stream. The match is being live streamed. So the screen is split into 2 parts. On the left, you see the chessboard with the white pieces at the bottom and the black pieces on the top. And then the right side of the screen is split into 4 windows. And each window shows you one of the people who are on the live stream, the 2 mediators and the 2 opponents, Hans and Magnus. Hans is looking stressed. He's holding his forehead. He's kind of fidgeting a little bit. And the top right corner is Magnus. And he's streaming from his bedroom, but he looks locked in. He's barely moving. He's just laser focused on the screen. And on the bottom of the screen are 2 commentators. Match starts. Hans is white this time. He plays pawn to d4. Magnus makes his first move. Knight onto f6. Hans moves another pawn forward. Nothing to see here, right? Literally less than 2 seconds after Hans moves the second pawn on screen, you see 2 words pop up. The words, Magnus lost. And one next to Hans. And the commentators yell, what? Magnus is staring into the soul of the camera without saying a word, just empty Batman Sigma stare, and then his screen goes black. Magnus just forfeited and lost the game, disconnected from the stream in less than 10 seconds.
Ooh, why?
For the next 30 seconds, the commentators are just sitting there confused. What happened? We don't know. He can't just leave. Can he just leave? Is he allowed to just leave? That's all we know right now is that he just left. And all over the world, people are watching this and losing their shit. They're so shook. They're not even screaming. They're in denial. Magnus resigned. This feels like, again, he's trying to say this man is cheating.
Oh, this is a message?
Feels like it. And then he does another interview where he laughs and says, people can draw their own conclusions, and they certainly have. What does that mean?
This is where he's using his 190 IQ on?
Yeah. Honestly, think about being in a relationship with someone like that. He seems like a nice person, super cool. But like, how crazy is it? He be remembering every little thing.
But like at the same time, I feel like most people, he would just find them so boring. Like, like, come on. No thoughts?
No thoughts. Bored.
Yeah.
Bored. What does that mean? Then he adds, I have to say, I'm very impressed by Hans Niemann's play. And I think his mentor, Maxim Dulugi?
What?
Dulugi? I'm so sorry. Dlugy is a Russian last name.
Dlugy.
Dulugi?
Dlugy.
That sounds like a very...
Dlugy.
Dulugi.
Okay.
I feel like it's kind of
just say D.
Yeah, Maxim D must be doing a great job. Maxim is a Russian chess player famous for calling out cheaters and then calling out himself because he gets banned for cheating. So it's kind of like a, you know what I mean? Kind of like a thing.
Okay.
It's like, oh my gosh, you are such a great businesswoman. You and your mentor, Elizabeth Holmes? You must have learned so much from her. It's like, bitch, what the fuck, bitch? I know what you just said, okay? Yeah.
He said that?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's calling him out as cheater, like pretty openly.
But Maxim is actually a really good chess player, by the way. He runs a chess school in New York City, and I believe Hans did go to that chess school, and he's like really good at chess. Anyway, he's not just a cheater; he's actually really good. But he did cheat, it seems.
But that's what's implied.
Yes, that's what's implied in this message. But Hans would later deny under oath that he was ever mentored by Maxim, even though they have pictures together and he did attend his school. So I have no clue what's going on. But I'm gonna give Magnus the benefit of the doubt and say he's giving Hans a genuine compliment. I hope. The real goes down on Twitter though. So Magnus makes a statement that is so long it exceeds every character limit. He has to screenshot it and post it as a PNG. He says, I believe that Hans Niemann has cheated more and more recently than he has publicly admitted. His over-the-board progress has been unusual, and throughout our game in the Sinfield Cup, I had the impression that he wasn't fully tense or even fully concentrating on the game in critical positions, while outplaying me as black in a way I think only a handful of players could do.
Okay, so he's saying the dude is too relaxed.
Yeah, he's
at all the wrong times.
And then his progression into becoming better at chess on the board just doesn't be making sense, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
He said, we must do something about cheating. And for my part going forward, I don't want to play against people that have cheated repeatedly in the past because I don't know what they are capable of doing in the future. There is more that I would like to say. Unfortunately, at this time, I am limited in what I can say without explicit permission from Niemann to speak openly. He signs it sincerely, Magnus Carlsen, world chess champion. He even writes in his statement that he considered withdrawing from the Sinkfield Cup before he ever played against Hans because I think he was suspecting something was going on there. So I don't know. It's just all so messy, right? It gets even messier because then Hans starts doing more interviews where Hans is American, but suddenly he has an accent. Yeah.
What kind of accent?
Kind of sounds European, which is where a lot of chess players are from too. And Hans says it's because of his environment, because he's surrounded by foreign chess players all the time who don't speak perfect English. And now the chess community is saying, that's why he sounds Norwegian, because of Stockfish, the cheating software.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then it's about to calm down, right? Elon Musk's tweets. Talent hits a target no one else can hit. Genius hits a target no one else can see. 'Cause it's in your butt.
Wait, that's what he said? So he's making a comment on this whole thing?
Yes! Basically saying that he cheated. So why are anal beads a big deal in chess? The theory is that Hans was using vibrating anal beads up his ass to signal which moves he should play against Magnus. The theory starts as a random user's comment on a Twitch stream called Chessbra, because of course it does. Chessbra. But now it's a full-fledged conspiracy theory. And if you're wondering whether it's even possible to use anal beads to cheat in chess, it absolutely is. How do you know? Because I have it in me right now. I'm just kidding. And I have been playing chess against 10 different people in a separate room, and I've been winning every single round. There's one YouTuber called Mike Boyd who actually engineered his own custom battery-powered assistant. He makes a very nondescript backyard plunger and rips it in half. Okay, he cuts into it. Then he scoops out the insides like he's preparing to stuff a squash. But instead of rice and minced meat filling, he fills it with a custom-made electronic receiver.
Okay.
He then super glues the pieces back together, and the device ends up looking like it's seen some literally. But somehow it actually works. Here's how it works. Mike codes his own program that uses Stockfish to predict the best chess move. Then the program sends a signal to the transmitter that's hooked to the computer, and the signal travels to the receiver. So someone is watching the game, they're inputting it into Stockfish, and then the signal is going into his butt.
Yeah. It's a remote control vibrator.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. Mike then gets a chess player with a high elo to play him, while Mike's wife sits behind the camera and secretly inputs all of his moves, and Mike feels out the vibes to see which moves he should play next. He literally feels...
Wait, he put it in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
There are a lot of dedicated YouTubers out there to their craft. It's a very good excuse also to stick it in the butt. Now, Mike does win the game, but netizens are not impressed. This is one of the many comments. I will refuse to believe any of the device's result until someone actually puts it in its intended spot. Mike did not use the backyard plunger in his... Apparently, he put it in his shoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
but
he didn't put it in the back.
hope is not lost. There are still heroes in this world. The hero's name is Archie, from a YouTube channel called Josh and Archie. They're English lads who get up on all sorts of shenanigans. They're really fun, cool, okay? They like trolling people. One time they trolled influencers by having an influencer brand event where they had influencers test out wellness treatments, such as putting sushi on their eyeballs. To depuff, and they did it. So yeah, another time they rented out an enormous dollhouse as an Airbnb, so they do get up to some tomfoolery over on the other side of the pond. Okay, but the point is, Josh and Archie see this anal bead story going around, and Archie's like, I think our channel needs, I think our viewers would really want either of us to put it up the butt. So they order a butt plug, and they grab one of Archie's. Yeah,
Why they keep ordering butt plug, not anal beads?
Yeah, I guess it's easier. Yeah.
Okay.
So they order a butt plug, or they grab it from Archie's closet. I don't know, okay? Now, I'm just kidding. They order a We-Vibe butt plug in the color purple that costs exactly $90. We did our research. They're literally not skimping. Yeah, they're not skimping. These guys don't play.
Whoa.
It's not the biggest one I've personally seen, but it's a decent size. I feel like they didn't have to go that big. I feel like they could have gotten away for smaller. I'm just saying, especially for an alleged beginner like Archie.
But maybe it's like to turn it into supercomputer, it needs like a lot of space. Like, you know, the chips are large.
Get out of here. I don't believe you. Look at the chips these days. They're so small.
Oh, okay, fine.
Okay, he lays it out on the table. He crosses his arm. He's a little worried. I'm confident that I can take it, so to speak, but I'm worried if the match goes on for longer than an hour, that's where
the battery will run out.
This is so unserious, okay? So they rent out a whole studio to film this, and they invite a chess grandmaster to the studio and pretend they're filming a documentary on something very serious, like just chess. Now, before the game is supposed to start, Archie grabs the vibrator and an unreasonably large tub of lubricant and walks into the restroom. He steps in and he closes the door behind him, but Josh is waiting outside, and we can hear Archie moaning and groaning in the bathroom. And at one point he says, "Can I just say, Hans, who allegedly did this for real, I'm quite impressed." Then he goes, "Oh, I pushed that in too fast." Josh is on the other side, red like a tomato, because what the fork is going on? And then finally he comes out looking like a new man, a fuller man, a more complete man. Okay, plugged up and everything. And he says, "Okay, I'm in." Josh says, "You look out of breath." Well, yeah, it's not fucking easy, is it? Yeah. A few minutes later, Archie painfully sits down across from a chess grandmaster named Daniel, who's been playing professionally for 6 years. They shake hands. Hopefully, he washed his hands? The whole match broadcasted to Josh, who is sitting in an adjacent room putting stockfish to analyze the match, using the remote control to send signals to Archie's root canal. And Archie has to focus really hard to feel every pulsation down there so he can know his next move. And after a few minutes, Archie starts to get red in the face. He's rubbing his nose, shifting around in his chair. He's drenched in sweat, but it all pays off because he actually manages to beat a grand master. And the poor guy looks so confused, but he looks even more confused after they reveal anal plug. Because when Netizen commented, this poor grandmaster is probably a very weird day for him. 1, his beginner opponent plays inexplainably well. 2, his opponent looks like he's in absolute agony the entire time. 3, he finds out his opponent is cheating by stockfish being transmitted to a sex toy in his butt. I'm guessing that's not what Daniel thought would be in his day when he woke up that morning. Genuinely, I doubt anyone could predict that's your day when you wake up that morning. But
Hans had nothing, no sweats, he's like chilling.
He's chilling.
Cool as a cucumber.
No, he wasn't tense or even fully concentrating, according to Magnus's quote. So I don't know. It could be possible to be relaxed with beads vibrating against your internal organs for like an hour. It could be. Who would say? I could test it out for you guys if you really want. I got you. Maybe Hans had formal training. We don't know. But shortly after this, an adult website offers Hans $1 million if he agrees to play a game of chess butt naked.
What? What website?
I feel like it's gotta be OnlyFans. I feel like it can't be chess.com, right?
Oh, shoot.
So this cheating thing goes even more viral. And now Hans is on a Piers Morgan interview and he's sitting there. This is so very unserious. Okay, the whole thing, his attorney is sitting next to him. Hans is bringing on his attorney to interviews now because that 43 minutes did a number, okay? So his attorney is there. The attorney has way too much hair gel on and it's just, they look goofy. Hans is glancing around the room like he did not prepare for this and he's stuttering. Well, considering the recent case, some legal questions my lawyer might be better able to answer. He's not just a lawyer, he's a friend and a confidant and someone I fully trust.
I feel like he rehearsed that without lying.
So,
who talks like that? He's my confidant.
It's a little weird. So Piers Morgan is like, okay, let's just rip the bandage off. Anal beads, yeah? And then he's got the facial expression of a 14-year-old looking just very distressed. And he basically says, fuck the haters. I'm motivated now to play even better and I'm going to have a $10,000 scholarship I'm giving away. And Piers Morgan is like, okay, but just to be clear, you didn't cheat. Of course not. So what have you had to learn if you didn't cheat? The experience was all the chess world crashing down on me. Just to be clear on the specific allegation, have you ever used anal beads while playing chess? Your curiosity is a bit concerning. Maybe you're personally interested, but I can tell you no.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he says, okay, so categorically, no, you have not. Hans lets out a breathy laugh like you just popped a balloon. And he said, of course, yes, no.
Of course, yes.
No.
Well, he said, of course, yes.
He goes, of course, yes. No. He's so unserious, okay? Yeah.
Was he smirking this time?
No, he looks like he's pooping. This guy, he looks like he does have anal beads right now for the interview. This is him the whole time. And then Piers Morgan, so unserious, goes, how do you disprove that you used anal beads to cheat? Hans now bursts out laughing and goes, how would I prove it? How do you expect me? First of all, that was not a serious theory that was taken out of context. So he's like, what do you mean? So then Piers is like, do you think you could win Magnus Carlsen if you play him again? And Hans says, I'll let my chess speak for itself.
Damn.
Yeah. Now, Hans, he decides to file a lawsuit, 44 pages long, against chess.com and Magnus. So I'm going to summarize it. He's basically suing them for $100 million, allegedly trying to ruin Hans' career in the lawsuit, is what he said. He also calls Magnus a sore loser. This is what he says. Notorious for his inability to cope with defeat, Magnus snapped. Enraged that Hans, 12 years his junior, dared to disrespect the, quote, king of chess, and fearful that the young protege would blemish Magnus's multi-million-dollar brand by beating him again, Magnus viciously and maliciously retaliated against Hans by falsely accusing Hans without any evidence for somehow cheating during their in-person game. So it's like a whole he said situation. He said, the bead said, Hans dropped the lawsuit, chess.com unbanned him.
Hans dropped the lawsuit?
Yeah, and chess.com unbanned him, and he's been doing well on chess.com. He has a ranking of number 3 on the platform at one point.
He's back?
He's back.
On chess.com?
Yeah, and real life tournaments, and he's been playing pretty well. His elo is sitting at 2,700, which is nothing to scoff at. He's even been beating some top ranking chess players, so I don't know. He actually is a very good chess player.
Wait, so even like I'm sure they're checking.
Yeah.
And he's killing it.
He's killing it.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
I mean, the chess community is divided. What do you think? Do you think he cheated, or do you think that sometimes happens where maybe there's anomalies? Like Magnus is saying his career progression is unnatural, but sometimes there be some unnatural people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Netizens commented, I feel sorry for Hans. Must have been a pain in the ass getting through all of this. Glad they finally pulled the plug on this whole scandal, y'all. I think the most logical solution would be that each competitor uses a standardized butt plug that prevents them from inserting any unofficial butt plugs into their butts. This would level out the playing field tremendously.
Bro, genius. So good.
So, moral of the story is, anal beads or butt plugs?
Yeah.
What's the difference? Let us know in the comments. We're so intrigued. And I'll do a video soon. Just kidding. But I hope you guys
Reviewing every
chess cheating device in real time for your viewership, for educational purposes, for research. So that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.